Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Sounds Like Sam. This week I'm going to go a little bit of what I did last time. I thought that went really well, just sharing everybody that I started on all my fantasy teams, which I have 4 of them, and then I'm also going to share some pretty big news, at least in the fantasy football world, and then maybe go over questions, and I just wrote an article, so you can check that out, but I'll go over a little bit of everything, so it should be a good week. But yeah, I'm just happy to be continuing the streak of one podcast a week, and glad that you were able to join me. So, as always, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to reach out to me on Twitter or Instagram at bullseyefantasy, or on my email account at bullseyefantasy1@gmail.com, or just check out bullseyefantasyfootball.com. Honestly, unfortunately, I just haven't been posting enough on there, but yeah, it's always good to have support on that. So that's always there if you need it. Otherwise, just text me if you have any questions. But hey, it should be a good week. So let's just get started with the big news of the week. Honestly, it kind of caught me off guard that A.J. Brown, wide receiver for the Tennessee Titans, is put on IR. Which means he's definitely designated out this week for the Patriots. So definitely bench him at least for the next 3 weeks, which is really unfortunate if you have him and need him. But and really unfortunate for the team because they've lost all 3 of their superstar players, including Julio Jones, Derrick Henry, and now A.J. Brown. So does not look good for them. But I'm not really sure if I would really even consider starting anybody else for them. I know they just added Golden Tate, the former wide receiver for he was the Seahawks wide receiver, he was Lions wide receiver, he was the Giants wide receiver. I feel like I'm missing one, but it looks like next guy up would be Nick Westbrook Ikhine, or probably somebody else. No, that's... Oh, Dez Fitzpatrick? Never heard of him. But I guess we'll see how they do. But yeah, that's pretty big news. Other big news would be, looks like Kareem Hunt is designated to start alongside Nick Chubb again. So rejoice for all you Kareem Hunt owners. I know I'm one of them, so it's good to have him back. But yeah, honestly, it's I feel like those 2 things were the biggest news. Maybe what was the Arizona Cardinals? What's DeAndre up to? Does he play this week? I don't think he plays. Yeah, I think he's on bye. Yeah, he's on bye. So Cardinals are on bye. No real news, I feel like, anywhere else. But yeah, I guess let's just go now start on my teams. For my team Sam, I'm starting Tom Brady, Nick Chubb, James Robinson, DK Metcalf, Marquise Brown, Kyle Pitts, Elijah Moore. Titans defense, so that's probably not good. I'm probably actually going to switch that out. Then I'm sitting Julio Jones, Jerry Jeudy, Leonard Fournette, Jalen Waddle, Miles Gaskin, Cam Newton, Devontae Freeman. Oh, wow, this team is actually very good. This is my Rams fantasy football team. If I realize I'm sitting Leonard Fournette, who's averaging almost 11 points a game in standard leagues. But I think it has to be done. I am starting Elijah Moore in my flex. I feel like that's just a gut feeling. Another thing I could do is probably start Cam Newton at quarterback. But honestly, Tom Brady's pretty good. I don't think that should really be a problem. I think the only bummer recently has been the way DK Metcalf has played. He's played horrible over the last 2 weeks. He's had 8 targets in the last 2 weeks, or 16 targets total in the last 2 weeks, 8 in each game. He's only had 7 total receptions, 3 in Week 10 versus Green Bay, 4 versus Arizona in Week 11, and has only had 2.6 and 3.1 fantasy points in each of those games. Not very good. Not what you want to see. Hopefully against this Washington team he can bounce back, but that's not good if you have him right now. Probably not feeling great, but I think this is a bounce back game for him. I'd still keep him in. Now, you might ask, why would I actually... I honestly... You know what, I'm just going to switch it right now. You've heard it here, folks, live on the show. Switching out Elijah Moore for probably a better suitor. Now the real question is, who would I put in? Because I could put in Leonard Fournette, but he's going against the second best team in Indianapolis Colts. But I could go somewhere with Gaskin. He's been pretty touchdown heavy recently. Or I could go a flyer with Devontae Freeman, which doesn't sound good, but honestly he does well when he gets a touchdown, which seems to be like every game, kind of. So he's actually kind of doing well, but let's see. Yeah, I do feel like Leonard could bounce back from last week. Actually, yeah, I'm just gonna leave it. The reason I'm second guessing myself basically on this is because I know Elijah Moore has done really well. He's gone on a ton of targets last 2 weeks, and I was nearly gonna write an article about how like he's the go-to guy. He's going to be heavily targeted this game, but their quarterback comes back. Pretty boy, Disney kid. Those were bad nicknames. Zach Wilson. Yeah, he's coming back this week, so no Joe Flacco in. He's just been pretty inconsistent, but you know what, I'm just going to let it fly. I feel good enough about that. If anything, if I'm going to make a move right now, it's probably going to be defensively, which, I might have to go. Let's see how the Bucs are doing. Oh, yeah. Oh, no. Actually, I don't want to take the Bucs this week versus a good Colts team. Eagles, though. Eagles are on fire. New York Giants, Jets. Oh, my. Yes. Okay, yeah, let's do that. Why not? Let it fly. Add Eagles. Top 10 defense. Averaging 6 points a game. Dropping the Titans. Yeah, I'll do that. See if it goes in time. Yeah, it did. Just gonna fill that right now. Yeah, so that's what I'm doing for this team. This team is very good, though. I'm pretty well in the standings. I think I'm second overall. I'm 8-3, so I feel pretty good about this league. Next league we're going to do is the Raging Contagion League, the league that I manage with my dad. We started Josh Allen, got us 26 points, and we're putting in James Robinson, Myles Gaskin, Devonta Smith, Elijah Moore, Noah Fant, Brandon Ayuk, Cowboys defense, Randy Bullock. I mean, the only thing I might do is maybe start J.D. McKissick, but at the same time, I might as well just keep in. I kind of like everybody in the way they're playing, so all my bench is either on bye or out, or it's like Cam or McKissick. So on my bench I got Travis Kelce, DeAndre Hopkins, both on bye. Darrell Williams on bye. Antonio Brown out. J.D. McKissick, Cam Newton, just benching them. So just because I can't play Cam because I already have a quarterback in, and then just don't feel like playing McKissick. Feel like I'd do better with Elijah just because he's a receiver, and this is a full point PPR, so don't want to risk it. So I like what I put on the table for that this week. Let's see. Let's go to French Toast House. This league has been awful for me. I mean, I love the league itself, but my team, has been horrendous. It seems like every move I make, I cannot just get anything right. So it's getting better though. We just got off an 8-game losing streak. Literally had won the first 2 games, lost the last 8. Just won our first game back, which was a huge celebration, which means we're officially back in the playoff race, even at 3-8. I think there's still like 3 more weeks left, and if I can somehow come out on top, and then have everybody else who's in the losing conditions, or the bottom 3 also, or bottom 4 also lose, there's a chance. So that's all we need. But start off strong. Have put in Darnell Mooney and Dallas Schultz. Came up each with about 12.5 points, which is good. Then I was starting Matthew Stafford, Christian McCaffrey, Kareem Hunt, DeAndre Carter, wide receiver for the Washington football team, Melvin Gordon, Panthers defense, and Joey Sly. And then on my bench I have Carson Wentz, Jeff Wilson, Deontay Harris, Myles Gaskin. So honestly, team looks okay. Obviously could be much better, but I'm kind of just going with it. I'm a little bit hesitant on starting Matthew Stafford. I feel like Carson could go off this game, but I'm just gonna let it fly the way it is. I kind of like the way it looks. DeAndre Carter is probably the biggest why are you starting him guy, but it's literally because I have nobody else. I think I dropped everybody because DeAndre has been out or on bye. Calvin Ridley's out. And I think the other guys I had were just not cutting it, so I had to just shoot him in, and we'll have to see how it goes. But like the way it looks now, I feel like Kareem should be okay. But and then I just got Melvin Gordon off of a trade. I traded Kyler Murray, and then the third string Cleveland running back for Melvin Gordon, and then I forget. I think it was the Eagles running back, not Miles Sanders, but the guy who replaced him. But it doesn't really matter. I'm losing anyway, so I had to make some kind of move, and I actually like Javonte Williams better than Melvin Gordon, but they still keep feeding him the ball, and he still keeps getting points. So facing a lot of kind of poor run defenses, at least for the next 3 weeks, last 4 weeks, maybe a little tougher, but I'll take what I can get. Hopefully it goes well. So, yeah. So that's that league. Last league, I'm going to be starting Jalen Hurts, Nick Chubb, started David Montgomery, Marquise Brown, Elijah Moore, Dawson Knox, Cordell Patterson, Chris Boswell, Cowboys defense, and then sat Dak Prescott, A.J. Brown, Chase Claypool, CJ Uzuma, Alvin Kamara, Cortland Sutton. Honestly, this is probably my most stacked team, but probably should have just started Dak. I know last week he did really bad, but and that was kind of a reason the reason that I decided not to start him, even though he ended up getting 38 points this week. So it doesn't make me feel good, but I still think we can pull out a win. And I like the players that we have, but once Alvin Kamara comes back, once AJ Brown is healthy, if Dak can get back on track with his receiving weapons, getting them back is going to be really helpful for his fantasy value. But once they get back, I'm going to feel really good about this team, and hopefully we can go far in the playoffs. But I don't know if you've noticed, a lot of my teams have the same players. You've heard Marquise Brown a lot, Elijah Moore a lot. I feel like probably those are the two main ones. Maybe the kicker for the Titans, Randy Bullock, even though I just dropped him because he just did horrible last week. And put in Chris Boswell, he's been doing really well. So hopefully things go better, but I do like this team a lot. And I hope that gives you a better idea of who I like to start and who I don't. And again, if you have any questions or comments about who you need to start, or if you want any advice, feel free to contact me at Twitter, or on Twitter at Bullseye Fantasy, or Instagram at Bullseye Fantasy. So yeah, those were the biggest things I guess I had to go over for this episode. Went over some news. I did write an article. It was on Darnell Mooney and Pat Freiermuth. Darnell Mooney, for those who don't know, is the wide receiver for the Bears, and then Pat Freiermuth is the tight end for the Steelers. I wrote about how these are two guys on the up and up. I think they are going to be startable for you going forward. I think they are becoming go-to weapons in their in both their offenses, and I think they need to be started in all their leagues. I go into it a little bit more in the article, but that's just a little teaser for you. If you want to read more, it's on my website, bullseyefantasyfootball.com. So definitely check it out if you're interested. And yeah, so that was the episode. I appreciate you listening. I hope week 12 goes well for you. Peace.